telling her about this, and I was telling her that I want to film a video with you, and I was asking her for ideas, right? And then I asked her, oh, what do you think we should talk about? And she's like, I think you should talk about the gap between the degree and the legal space or the
Okay.
workplace.
Yes.
So it doesn't prepare you enough. It doesn't prepare you at all. I want to say at all, but it does. It really doesn't prepare you.
Sure.
But I also think it's like that, man, with a lot of degrees, honestly. I can't even say that it gives you an idea.
Sure.
It really doesn't.
So do you think there's something that institutions can actually place to actually prepare graduates for the workplace to make the process much better or much easier? Because I've seen that it's actually very traumatic or rather disruptive transitioning from uni to the workplace. I think that's why you find that a lot of people, a lot of young graduates have a lot of mental health issues because it's like, what is happening? It's like you basically know nothing.
Yeah. My principal actually used to say that he feels like the degree should be extended to at least 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
And maybe even include a lot, like maybe the last 2 years include like a lot of practicals,
Sure.
and the practicals should include workplace etiquette, not just court etiquette.
Okay.
Because as Gen Z people, we don't even know office etiquette.
Yes,
Like, one thing about
professionalism
us,
zero.
yeah.
Sure.
And write board exams while still within the
The
degree.
uni, yes,
Yeah.
right.
But also, I just really feel like even if you maybe those things are implemented or introduced within the LLB program, there's only so much that can do. Some things you just have to roll with the punches. You still
Sure.
have to transition from being a student to being a working person, not necessarily being a lawyer, but to being a working person. Wardrobe wise, financially, sometimes you have to move out of home. Yeah, and I think that is why you'd say that the process is very disruptive, because it's not just, oh, you just passed your LLB and you're studying your articles. There's a lot of things involved that contribute to the disrupt.
Yes, that's
That is
true.
relocation, that is finances, that is wardrobe. At school, you have crop tops and ripped jeans. You have shoes. You have like wardrobe. You have family members. Some people, then you have to move out of home. Then you have to find
Sure.
people that
Will accommodate you for that time.
no, you find people that used to live at home when they were still in school, and now you're not at home anymore. And there are people who get their strength from living at home, and now you have
Yes.
to.
To be
So it's
independent.
just a lot of things.
Sure.
But honestly, no. To answer your question, in essence, no, I don't think that the degree prepares you enough.
Sure. No, I also fully agree with you. I think they should be, like your principal said, that what, maybe extend the degree, but not just extend the degree. Maybe we at UJ, right? I studied at UJ, so we had like law clinic, right? And the final year for 6 months, we'll do practical work. I think they could actually do that for a year, to get you familiar with drafting
yeah.
and all of that, because I realized that when I look at my modules, right, in uni, the only module that made sense to me was applied legal studies because it was so practical. But every other module, I still question it. I'm like, what? Did I really have to do that to get here? Because it's like, it's not as relevant. It's not as linked. Because when you get to the workplace, you get there and it's just completely different. So yeah, and then why did you choose to go in-house as opposed to being in practice? Now we want the tea.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just an opportunity that I wanted to explore. I've wanted to explore the corporate side of the law, but
Sure.
it's not like I was disappearing from practice. Actually, I would go back to
You
practice.
would.
It shocks a lot of people. Oh my
I'm
God.
actually also shocked because us who actually live practice, if you ask me if I want to be in practice, I'm not
No,
sure.
I would go back to practice. Yeah,
Really?
and I agree that practice is not for everyone.
Sure.
But I agree that it's for people like me.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying that the opportunity presented itself and you were like, you know what, I want to explore the corporate side of the law.
Yes, not that it presented itself. I actively pursued to go into corporate. It was either going to be, going into corporate, right? Or becoming an associate in a corporate firm.
Okay, so it was that. Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
I don't mind practice at all. I love it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I really, it's so interesting hearing people that actually say they love practice, because most attorneys are just like, you know what, I want to go in house, but I really love that. And then what are the pros and cons of being in house?
Yo. The pros has to be the hours.
Sure. Yes.
I did this video that we're non-practicing attorneys. Of course, we knock off at 4 or 5 like normal people.
Sure. Of
you
course.
know. The pros has to be the workload.
Sure.
It's not that much. Yeah, we're non-practicing attorneys. Of course, we're mentally stable.
That's right. Of course we are.
Yes, but yeah, the workload is manageable. It's also not as fast-paced as a law firm. But
Okay.
I think that is not really a pro. I think that's not really an advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what else? Oh yeah, there are no billable hours.
Yes, no billables. Like, oh my God, if you're an aspiring attorney, just know that billables are a big thing.
Yeah.
If you're not billing, then just know that,
Yeah.
you're in dip.
Yeah, so you just have a stable salary every month. Yeah, that's it. I think that's what I can think of now. These questions are so random, by the way. I had to say that out loud. You made sure that you don't show me this. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, and then the cons has to be the fact that, I don't know. Maybe the problem is me, ne? I think it's relaxed. It's too
It's
relaxed,
relaxed.
for me.
Okay.
And
Are you saying there's no pressure?
no, the pressure is not that much.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
or maybe that's just the company that I work for
yes,
and my
your
team
work
as well.
environment. Sure.
Yeah, or maybe because of where I come from.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
but yeah, it's really not that much. And I was watching a thing with Atlarang Kovuza.
Yes, I know her. Yeah.
Sorry, and she was talking about how she feels like there's much more growth in practice than there is in corporate, and I agree with her. But she was also, I think she was talking about like position wise, as a candidate, as in practice, you're a candidate attorney, then an attorney or an associate, then a senior associate, then a
Then
director,
you make director, then equity
yes,
partner, and
yes.
all
so
of that.
there isn't that much ladder to climb in corporate.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, at least not in my department, or at least not in my line of work.
Okay. And would you say, looking at the salaries, would you say that it's much better being in-house, or it's much better being in practice? Because I know there's a stigma. People think attorneys have so much money, and I'm just like, are you sure? Because we do make good money, but I feel it's not as great as people make it seem compared to the work that we have to do.
I think that just depends on the company.
Sure.
Yeah, like when I'm thinking of going back to practice one day, I look at certain firms that I'm sure make the attorneys there make so much money.
Yes.
Yeah, they make so much money. They make more money than us. Then I know that we make more than other attorneys in other firms.
Sure.
And it also depends in the company. Like I work for a financial institution, right? It also depends on the financial institution or just the company or the. Sometimes that you can be like in-house but not in financial institution, maybe in a mine or I think that also
it basically depends also on the sector that you
on
work
the sector.
for. Yes.
It also depends on the firms that you are
size as
comparing.
well, like
Yes, that
small,
you're
medium,
comparing
big.
it with.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I guess it all depends on where you end up, which company you end up, right? And then what does your day look like at the office? Like a day in my life. If you were vlogging a day in my life, what would it look like? How does it start? What time does it start?
My contract says 8, but I'm in the office at around 8:30. And I knock off at 4, like normal people, guess, soft life. So it's not that hectic. It's just a lot. Do you want me to get into detail? Like, as
Yes,
to what
into
I do?
detail.
Yeah, there is work that is like daily work.
Yes.
Like daily work, like transactions monitoring. You have to check, like transactions monitoring, sanctions monitoring, or what is that? The cash transactions monitoring. That's what I do. Those are things that you have to do every day.
Sure.
Yes. So I usually start with those to get them out of the way, and
Okay.
then do my other work that has like deadlines. That would be high risk monitoring, conducting client working customer due diligence,
Yes. Oh, I
enhanced due
love DDs.
diligence.
My faves.
Yes, for high risk, I'm responsible for high risk clients. So what else do I do?
Do you guys draft? Do you guys have to go to court? Like, because I'm
No.
trying to look at the detail. Because you know how many people, and I was part of those people, and why Employment Wednesdays and why Law Without Borders came into life was the fact that I got a rude awakening in third year, which was so rude that also it made me. I wasn't so aware about what to do with my law degree, right? So in third year, I realized that I needed to get articles. I realized that I needed to do. I didn't even know that I had to do boards. I just knew that I had to get articles. I started searching for articles, and you know how hard it is to find articles, right? I get articles, right? But then also, I didn't know that I could do other things. I didn't know that I could go in house.
Yeah.
All I thought you could do with a law degree, I thought you could just be an attorney or an advocate, nothing else. And I didn't even know about the processes that you had to go through. I thought you just wake up after your LLB and say, hey, I'm an attorney, and it's all good, right?
Yeah.
So would you say, I want you to take us through the differences between what you did as a candidate or what an associate does and what you do on your day to day?
Okay, so
And
what
if you don't mind, what's the name of your position? Is it like legal advisory, legal counsel?
no, I'm an AML officer, anti-money laundering officer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, so I'm not deep into the legal stuff. Yes, we do work with the legal I'm in the legal and compliance department.
Sure.
Yes, so we are different teams. There's the legal team, there's the compliance team, and then there's us, the AML team. So we work closely with each other.
Okay.
And what I'm getting from your question is the difference between what we do versus practicing attorneys, right? So when we do have legal issues that are presented to us as the company, right? Of course, it will be brought to the legal department to our attention, but we are not the attorneys that will do the drafting, and
Okay.
we're not a law firm. We can't do that. We don't have the signature of the pleadings.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have to outsource and stuff, and then direct the people, the outsourced attorneys or lawyers practicing.
yeah.
Yes, so we outsource practicing attorneys and instruct them as to how they should go about it.
If I understood you correctly,
Sorry, let me just quickly disturb you. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. So instead of getting clients just like attorneys, we are the clients to attorneys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get that. So if I get you correctly, there is a legal department in your company
Yeah.
which gets actual legal work. And then that legal department then gives you guys work as the anti-money laundering department.
No.
So you are still part of the legal department, because I'm trying to understand your position, because it's not a generic position, you know?
No. I am an anti-money laundering officer.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't do the legal stuff like the drafting and the reading of contract. I just
Yes.
make sure that I make sure that the company is not stained by any.
There's no fraudulent money moving
Yes.
around. Okay, that's what you basically do. Are you supposed, is it a must that you're admitted as an attorney, or is it something that you can do straight out of your LLB?
You don't have, I don't think admission is a requirement.
Okay.
There are people that are AML officers that I also talk to on LinkedIn. AML officers, AML analysts, AML investigators. I talk to them, so we do
Sure.
the same things. And we are all in financial institutions different. So some are in banks, some are,
Yeah.
some actually don't even have LLB degrees. Some have commercial degrees.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then some do have law degrees, like your BCom law and LLB, but they're not admitted attorneys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so being admitted is not a requirement, because I guess this is the turning point of our conversation, because the whole point of Law Without Borders is trying to unlearn the idea that you need to be admitted.
Yeah.
Because also there's a trauma that comes with your journey to admission. And sometimes it's not worth it. You don't have to go through it if you know that you don't need it or you're not passionate about it. I love what you said at the beginning of our conversation when you said there are people that are for practice, and you know that there are people like you. And also there's certain people that don't have to practice. So actually, I think I'm actually interested in knowing more about your position. I think I'll do further research because I think it's quite interesting that you got admitted as an attorney, and instead of actually staying in practice, you actually did something that's a bit different, you know.
It is
And
legal related though, to a
yes, yes,
certain
yes,
extent.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to a certain, because I mean DDs as well. Like it's basically due diligence, checking that if everything is according to the law. I guess you guys do like more fires, ne?
Yes, and
Fika.
thicker, yeah, and fires, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. That's actually very interesting. And then oh,
Yo, just to quickly add on that, you mentioned about the trauma journey to admission, how traumatic it is, and how there's absolutely no need to go through it. I mean, if you can be successful in the profession, I mean, a profession without being an attorney or without being an advocate, you can still be successful somehow.
sure.
Because there's a lot of other options that you can do with your degree. I think people need to start considering that. I was talking to the grad at the office, telling her, we were both, she's also an attorney, and I was telling her that we were sharing our experiences, and I was telling her that, you know, I used to consider giving up, and there was a time I was 1 year, 5 months into my articles where I thought about quitting like every day. And sometimes I think about it, why what if I actually quit? And I think about it because like I don't believe in struggle.
Yeah,
I don't believe in
sure. I'm
struggle.
also a soft hand. Funny
Yeah.
enough, I also had an experience like that. I wanted to quit 1 year, 8 months into my articles.
Yeah.